Welcome, graduating class of 2025. We've all put in a lot of work this year. We've seen some highs, we've seen a lot of lows, and today we're going to be talking about my 2025 beauty scenery superlatives. This is my second year of doing this video, and it arose because I arranged my products that I've reviewed into a spreadsheet at the end of the year to decide what was the best, what was the worst, although those are in a pile in the back behind me. And then there are a lot of products that deserve to be mentioned for other reasons, some good, some bad. This is just kind of a fun video concept that I came up with last year to look back on the things that we've discussed and reviewed on my channel over the last year and maybe have a giggle or two. So yeah, I've got a lot of topics this year. It's hopefully going to be fun. Even if I say something less than glowing about a brand, please understand that it's not personal. We're just all here to get our giggles at the end of the day. So let us commence with the 2025 senior superlatives. All right, so our first category is best new brand. And when I say this, I mean that like, it is like the best overall. I feel like it's not necessarily like release of the year or one product in their line totally stole the show. It's just kind of like in terms of the hype that was around it, the expectations that we had and the general reception of it, I think that this category easily goes to Hung Van Gogh. This was a release that again was very hotly anticipated. It was a big release because he came out with tons of products and it was at Sephora as its debut. Hung Van Gogh is very talented and also very beloved. And so the stakes were pretty high, but at the same time, the way he handled the release, how absolutely gracious he was about everyone's reviews and everyone's appreciation of the products. And I did try one of everything from the line, and everything, even if it wasn't particularly for me, each thing, they were all exquisitely executed. And I just think that it's one of those brands that in 2026, I'm really excited to see what he does next. Even if it's just shade extensions or more excitement around certain products or what have you, I'm going to continue rooting for Hung Van Gogh because I think that his ideas are new and innovative. You can see that he does have passion behind his formulas. And I do like a few of the things that he did a little bit differently, even though it's not the most innovative thing in the world. There were some innovations in there that I feel like set his brand apart from other new releases of the year. I loved how many nuanced browns he put out in his eyeliners. I love that he put out two different eyeliner formulas, one that's more of a blending eyeliner, one that's more of a waterproof eyeliner formula. And I think that even though there wasn't necessarily a shade that was perfect for me yet, that lipstick formula is not comparable to anything else that I have. It's wildly lightweight, incredibly opaque in coverage, and the colors were really fascinating. So again, I just think that he is doing something really, really cool, and I'm excited to see what happens from him. So holistically, that is my new brand of the year. Next superlative is best blast from the past, and this easily this year goes to MAC. Oh my gosh, MAC did some awesome stuff. Like, they really have been playing their cards in a way that, I don't know, someone like Urban Decay should have been playing their cards this entire time. As a brand that's been around as long as they have, with the legacy that they do have, their ability to stay true to their brand, revive old ideas, and ride the cycles of trends as they reemerge, because again, this brand has been around for decades. I don't think that their serum blushes were new, but they were new for me this year, and they knocked my socks off. The Nudes lip collection, the lipstick release of all of the formulas in these unbelievable nude colors that were so exciting and unique. I mean, they swept the internet in the best way possible. And when I finally got them in my hands, I was like, yeah, I see why. Like, there was no disappointment whatsoever. It challenged the way that I thought about doing my makeup. It made me want to make color theory videos. That's what makeup that stands the test of time really does, is it inspires you, right? And MAC this year really inspired me. I still can't get my hands on the lip erase. I ordered it. They ran out before they were able to fulfill my order. No shade, but like, let's restock. I at least want to play with it, you know? So I have gotten tons of requests from y'all as I have been doing videos, reaching back into my collection and, you know, talking about brands that aren't particularly new. I was like, what brands do you want to hear about next? Everyone wants me to do a MAC updated review. So that will be coming and I'm so excited to do it. I think that they are the absolute best blast from the past of the year. Let's jump into a fun one. Class clown. It's really down to two. I know. I usually there should just be one, but we're gonna divide it into the one who did the most in class clownery and the one who did the least. And that landed them as class clown. The one who did the most, no, not Milk Makeup. That was 2024, okay? This year, It is, and I'm finally on the hater train. I'm sorry, but like, we have given Urban Decay so many chances. I gave them so much of my money, and like, it really goes to show that it is not enough to have good formulas, because I think Urban Decay puts out good formulas, but they put out some of the strangest things this year. If memory serves, and some of these might have been late last year, but I'm gonna just try and go off the dome here. We got the naked sculpted palettes, which were really disappointing. They had these like putties in the middle that just didn't function really at all for anything. The colors that they did choose were kind of blah. I don't really feel like it added anything to anyone's collection. It was not a naked fans naked palette, you know? There was just like nothing new enough about it to justify creating it. We saw those weird, you might not have even seen them, those weird powder blushes. It's kind of just going towards the clownery. They also had a scandal where they decided, and I don't know all the details of it, I don't mean to just like vilify people when I don't know all the details, but it wasn't a good look for them to pull out of their long time agreement with Scandinavia on their all-nighter spray and just be like, nope, bye. You know what I mean? We're like probably a huge part of your business, but no, never mind, you know, and reformulating without them. I think that especially in the context of how Urban Decay has been continuing to hype themselves, they're like, we are going to pay homage to our most loyal longtime customers. We are bringing back the shades that everyone loved us for. We are going back to our true identity, getting away from basics and going towards more artistry, and we're seeing none of it, okay? No one is happy with what Urban Decay is doing right now, and like, they have a roadmap in front of them. MAC, like I said, is doing such an incredible job flowing with what's in style, using the things that they have already done, the formulas that already perform for them, and just continuing to iterate on them in ways that their true core fan base remains excited about. And Urban Decay just kind of, they just keep whiffing it. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, Urban Decay, hire a consultant. It's like, stop coming out and saying all these things you're going to do and then not doing them. It is pure clownery. And that is the brand, obviously, that's doing the most in terms of clownery. And then we have the one that's over here doing the least. And that is Patrick Ta. I have had an axe to grind on Patrick Ta since late last year when we saw, I don't know, some unmemorable stuff, mainly in the form of those $42 eyeshadow duos, which some were okay, some were less okay. It was a pretty inconsistent release. People were mostly upset about the price. Even though I do like his foundation, I do think that it is overpriced within context. I mean, it's basically almost the same price. It might even be more expensive. I think it's more expensive than the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. And like the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint blows it out of the water in terms of quality and performance. But this year, again, off the dome, if memory serves, Patrick Ta has released more colors in those eyeshadow duos, a bunch of matte nude eyeshadow palettes that like no one asked for. His matte formula isn't that good anyway. And like, if you had his palettes, you already have those colors. There's just, if you're looking for an all-in-one palette, you're probably not going for an all-mattes palette anyway. I don't understand who the customer was for that. Then he absolutely ate crow by re-releasing a reformulation. This should also go, I had a category last year for like most disappointing re-release. He gets that too, okay? And that was for his highlighter duos, which he should have just let fall into the annals of history, okay? He's not getting my money twice on those. I made a whole rant in a Tepid Takes about it because I just think that him coming out and being like, oh, we get it, you didn't really like it, buy him again. We did it better this time, buy him again. Trust us. No! It is a wide world of makeup out there, Patrick. You do not need to be impressing upon people that they need to buy a second iteration of your product that sucked the first time, okay? You don't get that many chances out here. Those things are expensive. And what a waste. And now, what do we have to look forward to in 2026 for Patrick Ta? Some squeezy tube lip balms. Like, 2 years too late. Who cares? Our next category is best to bring home to mom. I just thought that this one was fun because it gives me an opportunity to talk about how incredibly consistent the Hourglass palettes are. Because I feel like every time I review them, I'm like, I don't even need to buy it to tell you that they're great. And it almost took a mental exercise of just like stripping back all the newness for me to approach my own mother's makeup wants and needs in a way that felt the most like practical and user-friendly. And it was like a light bulb. I was like, oh my God, obviously an Hourglass palette. And then I let her try one of mine. She fell in love with it. I bought her one for Christmas that I will, you know, haven't given it to her yet, but like, it's a crowd pleaser. She's like, I love, and she said the same thing that I say about it. She's like, I love that, like, I don't have to know what I'm doing. And so when I say best to bring home to mom, I mean best to bring home to your nearest and dearest person who wants something beautiful and isn't necessarily that interested in makeup, okay? They're somebody who just wants to look pretty, they want it to be easy, and they don't want to have to go study the whole world of makeup to figure out how to use it. There have been a lot of makeup releases lately where I have complained so much about how there should not be a manual, or you shouldn't have to go and watch the makeup artist owner of the brand do their release video to learn what to expect with their product in order to use it properly. Natasha Denona, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that foundation, it was just so disappointing because it was like, oh, it takes 15 minutes to dry down. I don't care if I know that or not. That's a disappointing thing in your formula. And it was just really uncomfortable to wear. Either way, I think that the Hourglass palettes remain something that is both incredibly pleasing for people who do love makeup, like who are passionate about makeup and own tons of makeup and love all formula, like love trying new things, whatever. And it's also the most user-friendly formula for people like my mom who are just like, I don't want to think. So A+ Hourglass, keep on pushing. I love it. Okay, next category is most enthusiastic. And this goes to Fleur. Oh my God, Fleur, how many fragrances did you put out this year? Like so many. It's like I'm always the last one to be cynical about this kind of stuff. There are always so many people like on Reddit or in my comments or in the Trend Mood comments being like, God, another one, you know what I mean? It's like, how many fragrances could I possibly need from this brand? And I'm over here going, I don't know. I like their point of view. I like their touch on everything that they do. And I'm just like interested. And then it's just like, I look back on 2025 and I'm like, Fleur, it's enough. It was enough. I'm not saying it was too much. I'm just saying it was enough. Fleur, like, it's a lot of freaking perfumes, Fleur. It's just been a lot of freaking perfumes, Fleur. And I like most of them, but still it's like, dang, y'all really were enthusiastic. And like they are, I don't know whether they've just gotten infusion after infusion of funding, but it does feel like it's time to maybe diversify. Cause like I have enough eau de parfums, you know what I mean? Enough body mists. Highest hopes for 2026 goes to Prada based on one thing and one thing only, and that is how excited I am to see a concealer from them. Like I nerd out about this because it is my absolute favorite foundation. Okay, there's foundation, there's skin tint. This is my favorite foundation. It is the one that just performs flawlessly every single time, okay? It is worth my money all day long. I already have a refill for it. I love it so much. And I even said in like a couple tepid takes ago, I was like, I want to see another complexion product from them. I want to see a concealer so bad. And it was like all of my friends who are keeping track of new releases, the moment it was announced, even overseas, they were messaging me like, here it is. Oh my God, Prada's putting out a concealer. And I'm just like, yes. And did they have some kind of lame and lousy releases this year? Yeah. Did they have some that were actually pretty cool? Yeah. So like, I don't really have a big opinion on like what they did in 2025. I'm still like riding high on this existing at all. It's just like one of the best formulas I've ever used. And one of the ones that I consistently hear the best feedback on when I recommend it to people. So it just continues to like reinforce my feelings on it. But also, I mean, it's like, if that's the best foundation, I can't wait to see a concealer from Prada, and my hopes are high. Best dressed? While she didn't put out anything that particularly thrilled me to death this year, I still think that best dressed goes to Miss Victoria Beckham. This is kind of hazy looking. I am wearing this today. I should say this is something that I was really thrilled with this year, so I guess I can't say nothing thrilled me. I think that I'm just kind of anti-thrilled with the price on her skin tint. I feel like her skin tint was good, but it wasn't $110 good. It's just kind of like a yikes, you know what I mean? Like read the room, Victoria. But her eye wardrobes are absolutely gorgeous. They got kind of a revamp this year, and I think that she continues to put out some of the most like pleasing things to interact with consistently. Like there are brands like Gucci that have some really beautiful stuff, and then like they put out a squeezy tube skin tint. I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Dior does some beautiful things and some like, what is that kind of things. Even YSL, I'm not getting a lot of innovation from, and I don't even want to talk about that blush palette right now. I don't have the energy. But there is a reason that I continue to own so many things from her, and that is because the formulas are fantastic, and also I am a packaging junkie. And I think that she is too. We just like interacting with lovely things, and they are lovely things. Life of the party, even though this was a brand that didn't necessarily get my biggest enthusiastic stamp of approval this year because it's not really my style as much. I think that Life of the Party goes to Half Magic. They do deserve some snaps, okay? They do deserve their flowers in terms of what it is that they do. They do arts and crafts texture, okay? They do excitement, and they have so many fantastic textures. My favorite is the glitter puck. I think that it is an absolutely gorgeous formula, especially for the price. You get so much product for the price, and it's just this lovely like cooling sensation on the skin. It's so nice, it's so pretty. I do find that their formulas build a little bit inelegantly, and so it's like you can't use all of them at once. The way that I want to use a lot of things at once, you kind of have to make a decision going in, and like, it can smell fear. But they do have some of the most innovative textures and some of the most innovative like appearances of their products, and I think they have a lot of runway. I feel like they have a lot more ideas left, and they're a brand that I'm excited to see that kind of thing from. And it's like, if I want that kind of product, I would say that the other brand that's like that for me is like About Face, but they haven't put out as much this year. I feel like they got their snaps earlier on. Half Magic, out of all the brands that I tried for the first time this year, they are the brand that if I'm going for that, if I'm going for like party excitement, that's where I'm gonna start. Next category, most likely to brighten your day. I think I speak for all of us when I say Danessa Myricks, both in the quality and the beauty of her products, but also just in her online persona. She's just so delightful. She's constantly spreading positivity through all of her social media channels. But I also think that her releases lately convey, again, like no shortage of new ideas. There's something about her products that continues to be so considered, and you can tell that there's passion behind it. None of it feels like someone has forced her to put out a product just to put out a product. We saw the Color Fix sticks, which I think are gorgeous. We saw the newest Lightwork palette, and then also her mini palettes. I don't know how many mini palettes have existed before this, but like I got that mini dream palette, I think is what it's called, with like the turquoise and the purple and that beautiful like tan and then all of the glitters. And it's just like, she continues to blow my mind. Every time I use one of her products, I'm just like, this just made my day better. So she gets that category all to herself. Most popular goes to Versed makeup. This was a video on my channel and a line that came out this year that I think just went over unanimously well. Is it the most innovative thing in the world? No. Is it the best packaging in the world? No. Are they the best formulas I've ever used? No. But is it the most consistently good for the price brand that I tried this year? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they are products that I would recommend to anyone from a formula standpoint. The packaging is drugstore, and so I have heard some disappointment about it. I experienced some disappointment around it where it was like you opened it and, well, that happened with my Merit too, so, who knows. But, like sticks falling out and stuff like that. Like I said, it's not going in like my best of the year, but I definitely think that it is like the biggest crowd pleaser of the year was that entire release. I got done with that face of makeup and I was like, I have no complaints. And like, I went and got my nails done that day, and my nail tech was like, your skin looks incredible. You look so pretty. And I was like, this is all drugstore from Target. I was so pleased to say that. Didn't like the liquid eyeshadow, but still across the board, I feel like she wins the popularity contest. Versed makeup does. Most over the top, okay, goes to Miss Dolce & Gabbana. And I think it's worth mentioning because even though it's not like the most standout, again, innovative or like, highest performing necessarily, I feel like it is the best combination of style and substance, if that's your aesthetic. The Dolce & Gabbana packaging is so like filigreed and over the top and like gilded. It feels really like both luxurious and a little bit like self-aware and campy at the same time, which I think Dolce & Gabbana does a really good job of throughout their history, right? But the quality of the formulas is really there. Like those eyeshadow formulas are so beautiful, so easy to work with. The compact is just like fun to interact with. They're not not in the wide world of luxury the most expensive thing in the world, okay? They really aren't. And I found, especially when they released more of the plumping lip oils that were not pH color adjusting, wow, just wow. You know what I mean? There were things that folded into my routines really, really well. And I just feel like they deserve a mention, even though they're probably not going to go in like best of the best. Still, it has a lot of things that appeal to a lot of people, especially for people who want to get like the most luxury like feeling out of one product for the price. Biggest snob easily goes to Louis Vuitton. Yeah, this release shook the internet to its core, okay? I don't think that that's overstating anything. The reason that I have this, if you're new here, is not because I spent $250 on it. It is because one Mohammed Hindash spent $250 on it because he was sick of me bad-mouthing it. He had a bunch of them in his hands and he was like, these are so good, I need to make you a believer. And he bought me this one, and he also bought me one of the lip balms. And when he gave it to me, he laughed his butt off because he was like, now you have to review it, ha ha ha. And I did. So I can very much say like that is a beautiful set of formulas. It is 4 eyeshadows for $250. That's just stick up your you-know-what kind of pricing, okay? That's just like F you, middle finger in the air, let them eat cake kind of pricing. And for that reason, I could never give it like a, yeah, you should go buy this kind of review, even if it well, honestly, if it had blown my mind, I would have been more conflicted about it. It's quite pretty. It's pretty, okay? But it is for people for whom $250 isn't that big of a deal, and you care about that. There are plenty of people who $250 isn't that big of a deal to, but they're just kind of like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I don't want that. It's such a specific customer, and it's meant to make you know that this is exclusive. The same way that they are rumored to like burn their inventory at the end of the year so that nothing ever goes on sale. It's all about the LVMH exclusivity thing than it is about actual price for quality. And for me, that just says like, snobby gimmickry. It's kind of like the whole thing where it's like, oh, I need to go buy a bunch of stuff at Hermes so that they invite me to buy a bag. We're all gonna die. Most overhyped. And when I say most overhyped, I mean that like the hype was huge and the disappointment was extreme for me. I'm not even speaking to like the cultural zeitgeist here. I don't really know what everyone else felt about it, but my God, what in the heck happened to Isabella Beauty at Sephora? I have bought all of her collections, I think, like something from all her collections up until that point. And then I bought one of everything. Pretty much one of everything, I think, in terms of what I could fit into a face of makeup. I bought a big sampling of her stuff, which was not inexpensive, from her Sephora debut, and it is some of the most half-baked, underperforming, bad shade range. She didn't really know what she was doing, so she had to change the name of the product once it was already on site because she realized she couldn't call a concealer if it only had X amount of shades. It is one of the most poorly handled releases I've ever seen, and the products were bad. They're bad, okay? Like the blush thing in the compact, not great. The like under eye brightener thing, people were in my comments like, well, I had a shade. The point is that very few people had shades. If you had a shade, good for you. But like, that was supposed to be a Sephora release, and I mean, there were hardly any shades in it. Even the lightest one was too dark for me, and I am not the lightest person, you know, by a lot. It also had that sparkly all over face color corrector, which like, I don't really understand the point of. I guess if you have green undertones, putting a green, the color theory just didn't math for me. So yeah, it was a lot of money for things that I really, really didn't like. And I feel like it was just really phoned in. At some point, someone should have said, this is a bad combination. They're having to shave too many corners off of her vision in order to make it accessible to the average Sephora customer, and that Sephora also probably wasn't going to get what they wanted out of the deal. You know what I mean? She's not really getting to do her thing. They're not really getting to do their thing. I think it was just like a really bad match. So I don't blame Isabella. I feel like she got shoehorned into it in a lot of ways, and then what's she gonna do? Come out and be like, I don't promote my own you know, products that I just feel like everybody lost. We talked about the trends that we want to ditch in 2026 in my last video, but I think that the most played out trend this year that everyone is sick of is TikTok Shop. To the point where I wrote an entire video where I didn't end up releasing it, okay? It's like a whole commentary video that I just never got a chance to film it. But basically, something that I discovered was that when you go onto TikTok and you're looking at beauty reviews, you immediately get landed on their top videos tab, and it is nothing but TikTok Shop videos of people who aren't really necessarily career creators, who have gone and bought one product based on the money that they can make on it in commission on TikTok Shop, and they're all making the same video about the same product on TikTok Shop. In the case that I was seeing, it was the Tarte Under Eye Corrector, okay? This thing's been around for God knows how long, but it was every single person in their car, okay? They had just gone and bought the product. They were pretending they had been using it for ages and ages and ages and being like, this is my savior, this is my X, Y, and Z. If you're not using this, what are you doing? And I was like, is this what TikTok is now? But then you go to the videos tab and you have all of these creators who are doing the Lord's work, okay? They are over there actually doing in-depth reviews in as much as TikTok's format will allow them to, okay? In this very, like, you know, quick, to the point, succinct format, and none of them is using TikTok Shop. It is like this across the board rejection from all of the creators who take their, you know, career as a creator seriously, that they're not going to cheapen their own brand by doing the thing that TikTok thinks you won't be able to resist as a creator. We made TikTok Shop. It is the fastest avenue for your viewers to be able to pay you money, right? Because you're selling the thing. And then it's a button right there on the screen, except it delegitimizes their content in a way that they would rather trust their viewers to click through to their profile, click through to their link tree, and actually find the product and buy it in order for that person to get the affiliate commission, rather than to cheapen their own content by using TikTok's own functionality that is supposed to make selling easier. And I just find it to be amazing. I think it is just an incredible across the board protest from the creators in a platform. Let's call it what it is. TikTok is going the way of identification, the same way that all platforms do. And I love seeing the career creators on that platform wholesale, so to speak, rejecting TikTok Shop. I mean, everyone is sick of it. I think that the superlative for most played out trend, we can all agree, is TikTok Shop. No one likes it. And finally, before we get into our in memoriam portion of the video, we have my most underrated brand. And this is one that I don't know if I tried for the first time last year or in the beginning of this year, but I do feel like it was mostly this year, and it definitely made the biggest splash for me this year. Most underrated brand goes to Vive. Oh my God, Jamie Genevieve is out here making some of the most consistent, beautiful formulas in some of the most incredible colors that are so geared toward olive undertones, y'all. I'm pretty sure she has an olive undertone. I haven't studied her closely enough. I'm too busy just like marveling at her beauty and getting lost in her Scottish accent. But I bought a lot from her brand, and then I have had the luck, the fortune this year to get gifting from the brand as well. So I have been able to try so much from the brand. The Skin Nova Skin Tint, the concealer, the cream bronzer, the powder blushes, the liquid blushes, the, oh my God, the lip dew. It's so good. I have all of her eyeshadow palettes. They're gorgeous. Her eyeshadow sticks are gorgeous. Her lip liners are beautiful. Like, the brand does some amazing stuff, and like, I just think it doesn't necessarily, I hope she's doing well, but like, I still think that it's too underrated. That's a brand that needs to be like, you know, what she's doing is really, really special. It is on par or better than a lot of the things that are getting way more hype, and she just continues to like make incredible things that I find to be such a pleasure to use. If you are like starting out on her brand, like literally just get a lip dew. The sparkly clear one is like one of my favorite things to put on. I'd say that like runner up in terms of most underrated goes to Ravi, not because I think that her makeup is not as good as Vive. I definitely think that it is as good as Vive. It's just not as big yet, and also I don't think it's as underrated. I feel like a lot of people really know how good Ravi is, but Allie's brand is also out here putting out some just high quality, like no miss kind of formulas. And now we must take a moment to mourn the brands that we have lost this year. Some are really, really heartbreaking, and some we will not miss. But we thank them for what they contributed, either to the makeup industry or to the conversation at large. And I hope that y'all enjoyed my 2025 senior superlatives of beauty. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are new here or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe while you're here. We would love to have you. You should subscribe because I've got my best and worst of the year coming up. There'll be 2 separate videos. We'll have a worst of the worst and a best of the best, and they're just so much fun. They're my favorite videos to make. They're so, actually, the worst of the worst is my favorite one to make. The best of the best is like really high pressure. I get kind of nervous about it because I'm just like, I know I'm gonna forget something. But anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. I will put a video up here that I think that you will enjoy if you liked this one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being with me this year. Even if you're new, just thank you. And I love you so much. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.